Today is July 10th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are going to begin Chapter 1, Bill's Story, by reading page 1. Out of the 12 and 12, we are going to read Step 2, page 29. And out of the Daily Reflections and 24 Hours a Day, we are going to be reading the July 9th entries. With that, hope you all are doing well this morning. Life is good over here. We've been given a brand new set of 24 hours, and that is such a gift just to be alive today. As a matter of fact, I lost a dear friend and coworker yesterday, and it really kind of reminds me. First of all, he was just a great man, and I think he lived out a wonderful testimony. But it also reminds me of how fragile life really is. So the fact that we woke up today is such a blessing. And if we wake up sober, oh man, we're on top of the mountain right now. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Chapter 1, page 1, Bill's Story. War fever ran high in the New England town to which we new young officers from Plattsburgh were assigned, and were flattered when the first citizens took us to their homes, making us feel heroic. Here was love, applause, war. Moments sublime with intervals hilarious. I was part of life at last, and in the midst of the excitement, I discovered liquor. I forgot the strong warnings and the prejudices of my people concerning drink. In the time we sailed for over there, I was very lonely and again turned to alcohol. We landed in England. I visited Winchester Cathedral. Much moved, I wandered outside. My attention was caught by a doggerel on an old tombstone. Here lies a Hampshire grenadier, who caught his death drinking cold small beer. A good soldier is never forgot, whether he dieth by musket or by pot. Ominous warning, which I failed to heed. 22 and a veteran of foreign wars, I went home at last. I fancied myself a leader, for had not the men of my battery given me a special token of appreciation? My talent for leadership, I imagined, would place me at the head of vast enterprises, which I'd manage with the utmost assurance. And out of the 12 and 12 we're on Step 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And we are reading page 29 today. As material success founded upon no more than these ordinary attributes began to come to us, we felt that we were winning at the game of life. This was exhilarating and made us happy. Why should we be bothered with the theological abstractions and religious duties, or with the state of our souls here or hereafter? The here and now was good enough for us. The will to win would carry us through. But then alcohol began to have its way with us. Finally, when all of our scorecards read 0, and we saw that one more strike would put us out of the game forever, we had to look at our lost faith. It was in AA that we rediscovered it, and so can you. Now we come to another kind of problem, the intellectually self-sufficient man or woman. To these, many AAs can say, yeah, we were like you, far too smart for our own good. We loved to have people call us precocious. We used our education to blow ourselves up into prideful balloons, though we were careful to hide this from others. Secretly, we thought that we could float above the rest of the folks on our brainpower alone. Scientific progress told us that there was nothing man couldn't do. Knowledge was all-powerful. Intellect could conquer nature. Since we were brighter than most folks, so we thought, the spoils of victory would be ours for the thinking. The God of intellect displaced the God of our fathers. But again, John Barleycorn had other ideas. We who had won so handsomely in a walk turned into all-time losers. We saw that we had to reconsider or die. We found many in AA who once thought as we did. They helped us to get down to our right size. By their example, they showed us that humility and intellect could be compatible, provided we placed humility first. When we began to do that, we received the gift of faith, a faith which works. This faith is for you too. Daily Reflections, July 10th. Toward peace and serenity. When we've taken a square look at some of these defects, have discussed them with another, and have become willing to have them removed, our thinking about humility commences to have a wider meaning. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 74. When situations arise which destroy my serenity, pain often motivates me to ask God for clarity in seeing my part in the situation. Admitting my powerlessness, I humbly pray for acceptance. I try to see how my character defects contributed to the situation. Could I have been more patient? Was I intolerant? Did I insist on having my own way? Was I afraid? As my defects are revealed, I put my self-reliance aside and humbly ask God to remove my shortcomings. The situation may not change, but as I practice exercising humility, I enjoy the peace and serenity, which are the natural benefits of placing my reliance in a power greater than myself. 24 hours a day, July 10th. AA Thought for the Day. We in Alcoholics Anonymous do not enter into theological discussions, but in carrying our message, we attempt to explain the simple how of the spiritual life. How faith in a higher power can help you to overcome loneliness, fear, anxiety. How it can help you to get along with other people. How it can make it possible for you to rise above pain, sorrow, and despondency. How it can help you to overcome your desires for the things that destroy. Have I reached a simple, effective faith? Meditation for the day. Expect miracles of change in people's lives. Do not be held back by unbelief. People can be changed, and they are often ready and waiting to be changed. Never believe that human nature cannot be changed. We see changed people every day. Do you have the faith to make those changes possible? Modern miracles happen every day in the lives of people. All miracles are in the realm of personalities. Human nature can be changed and is always being changed. But we must have enough faith so that we can be channels for God's strength into the lives of others. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have faith to expect miracles. I pray that I may be used by God to help change the lives of others. Okay, so while this is fresh, I love the July 10th entry here. I pray that I may have faith to expect miracles. Now, the Big Book makes it very clear about expectations of others. However, one thing we can rely on, or let me rephrase that, one thing I can rely on is my higher power and the miracles that He performs every day. Here's one. The fact that I am sober. All I have to do is go back just a few 24 hours ago and remember how many times I'd wake up and say, I am not going to drink today. And by 8 or 9 in the morning, I'm already obsessing over it and rationalizing how I can get that drink. Now I don't have to live that way. I very rarely crave a drink nowadays. It happens every seldom. Thankfully, I've got the spiritual tools to deal with that. But that's a miracle in itself. That I don't obsess over it anymore. That God has removed that obsession. When I walk into one of the fellowships and I see sober people, that's a miracle. When I hear the testimony of you, who emails in and tells me your story, that's a miracle. Not to mention the gift of life. I have a dear friend. As a matter of fact, I went out to lunch with him yesterday. He's the man who really helped me early on and continues to help me to this day to just appreciate life. And I asked him, yesterday, I asked him, I said, how do you stay so positive all the time? And he said, well, I think sometimes you have to go through something really, really tough in order to appreciate the good. And he's the one who taught me to look up, to look down, and just to look all around, to have peripheral vision, to be aware of the miracles right in front of us. He's one, as a matter of fact, he had me do this little exercise one time. He said, Rob, I want you to go into the yard and get you a yardstick. I didn't have a yardstick, so I had a hockey stick. So I grabbed that, I go outside, and I probably looked crazy. He says, I want you to do 360 in the yard with your hockey stick. That little circumference right there. And in that little circle, I want you to look around, I want you to look down, I want you to look up. And I bet you can find something beautiful in that. So I did that. I look around, and at first I see these little flowers in the grass. I see that beauty. I look up and I see the beautiful, vibrant blue sky. I look around and I see the back door of my home, and I see my daughter playing through the slider glass door. And I think to myself, that son of a gun's right. He's right. There's so much to be thankful for, right here, right in front of us. And as his prayer for the day says right here, I pray that I may have faith to expect miracles. And then there's a follow-up. I pray that I may be used by God to help change the lives of others. If you're sober, you're a miracle. And there's people watching you. And maybe you're helping somebody else tremendously just by being sober. But I have rambled on enough. I hope you all have a great day. As always, I don't speak on behalf of AA or any other sect or denomination, but I am grateful to be here. And if we were given another set of 24 hours, I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.